All right, here is this week's laundry all folded. I did have a couple of things that needed to be hung up, and that's already been done. I like to hang things up as soon as they come out of the dryer so they don't get too wrinkly. Just the same way I had all the tops laid out flat before I was ready to fold them. Hey guys, it's Saturday now, and this is where I am in terms of my cleaning goals. As you can see, there's still much left to be done on the list. Unfortunately, I only have about a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. So let me get going and see if I can at least get some of the weekly tasks done. Okay, I was able to get some stuff done in about 45 minutes, maybe a little longer. I did clean the toilet and sink. I did not do the second dishes, and so I did not do the counters, but I did a big project, which is sweeping the whole place. And since I had missed that the prior week, that was definitely a priority. As you can see here, this is ridiculous, you guys. This is after skipping 1 week. Honestly, I know it's spring, but I probably should be sweeping every day or every other day. You know what? Maybe it's time to get one of those robotic vacuum cleaners that's going to do it for me every single day. Hi guys! So at the beginning of this week, I decided not to post an update video because there really was not much of an update. Nothing else got done the past week except what you just saw in the last few days. And when I say nothing else, I mean that not even my goals for the month were transferred from that post-it note into my journal. Sunday, we celebrated Mother's Day, and I actually took a couple of hours to do nothing but relax. Monday, I rushed home from work, and it was a mad dash to get my mom's garden ready and planted because the next 2 weeks are basically rain nonstop. So we worked on that until it got too dark to even see what we were planting. And here we are on Tuesday. So far today, I've already done a load of laundry. I don't think I'll get things folded today necessarily, but what I do want to get done is address a few of the messes that were created in the last couple of days. You know, when things are super busy, sometimes you just see something and you pretend it's not there. These are the few things I want to address. First, I have this mess that one of the cats made. Everything got knocked off the table and scattered about. Second, yesterday morning as I was walking out the door for work, I bumped my arm and spilled some of the fruit I had in my yogurt. Because I did not have time to stop and clean, I quickly swept them up, and here they still remain. Next is this disaster. Again, my lovely foster kitty decided that he deserves a spot on the windowsill, and so he made himself some room. I know the flower pot is broken, so I'll have to see if I have another one to put this plant in before I move anything. And finally, what I really need to get done is the dishes. I tried to do my dishes twice a week, and at the end of last week, I did not do them. So now my sink is full and I'm running out of coffee mugs. All right, here it is. It's just little things, but it makes a big difference. It is Wednesday now. What you see here is my biggest accomplishment of the day. I had some very overripe bananas that needed to be used up, so I finally got around to making protein muffins before I had to throw those bananas away, as has happened many times. Today, as I was leaving work, I made myself a list of things that I wanted to get done today. That list included making protein muffins, doing the dishes that I did not do yesterday, folding the laundry, changing my sheets and towels, setting up a new toothbrush that I purchased, and cleaning up the entry table, which is always a catch-all. I'm happy to report that I did everything on that list except folding the laundry. I did also edit for a little bit over an hour, so even though not everything got done, I feel very accomplished for the day. Not only did I make a double batch of muffins, I also cleaned up all the dishes from the making of these muffins. It's a huge win to not have a sink full of dishes to deal with tomorrow. Hey guys, it's Saturday afternoon now. I've spent most of the day editing my 75 hard video for the past week, and now I have about an hour and a half to get any cleaning or other important tasks done before I want to log on and do some work. In the past few days, I haven't made much progress, and today, even though I have the time and the task is pretty important, I really don't feel like doing it. So my thinking is it's finally time to wash the floors in the living room and bedroom. and do a pretty good job with cleaning under the furniture as well. So for that to happen, I first need to pick up around these rooms and sweep really well, moving furniture around. For whatever reason, in my head, it feels like such an enormous job, and my level of resistance is at 100. I know I need to do it, but I really don't want to. And this is what's revealed after you move the furniture. The amount of cat hair under here is ridiculous. Hello friends, welcome back. Now that we're at the end of the second full week of May, let me just share with you some of my thoughts about the past few weeks. As you may have seen from the clips, I've definitely been struggling. As always, I'm trying to give myself grace and kindness, as I know I have a lot on my plate right now and there's just not enough time for anything, not even sleep. This past Saturday, as I was trying to push through and get a few of my cleaning tasks done, I hit a real wall when it came to washing my floors. Now, washing my floors is not a favorite task of mine. It's a big job that requires multiple steps, a lot of time, and a lot of physical energy. It's something I usually dread. And for times like that, I have a myriad of tools and strategies that I can use to motivate myself and push through to get the difficult thing done. However, this Saturday, I did force myself to start working on the floors, but it felt like the most difficult thing in the world in that moment. I was angry, I was frustrated, and I may or may not have cried a few times, and all of that over a silly task of washing the floors. In the end, the floors did get washed. It took even longer than I had expected, and it meant that I did not get to do some other things I had planned. And frankly, this time I did not even have the satisfaction of having gotten it done and of how good the floor looked after. I think it was just a combination of feeling exhausted, sleep deprived, and maybe a little touch of PMS. So for this coming week, I'm giving myself a little bit of a break, but more on that later. Let's first take a quick look back at the last 2 weeks in my planner. One of the few things I have been diligent about keeping up is my habits tracker, but that does not translate into me having actually kept up with all my habits the way I would like. One thing I am very pleased with is the fact that my newest habit of being on time to my office job is one I have been successful with. A lot of that is me prioritizing this particular habit, but some of it is just simply luck. I am a little sad to say that as of today, and I am recording this video on Monday the 19th, I was actually late by 1 minute. So I won't be able to color in today as having been on time. But regardless, I am very proud of the streak that I've been on, and I hope to continue strong for the rest of the month. I did finally get to putting in my goals from my post-it note right into my planner here. There hasn't been much that I've done as far as these are concerned. I did technically finish one book, but I believe I had started that one back in April. I'm not exactly sure, but I am halfway through another one. And that one I'll definitely finish by the end of the month. I'll definitely be able to check off the read one book task. I have also been putting in hours at my second job. So far, I have 24, which means that I am pretty much on schedule to finish the 40 hours by the time the month is up, but barely. And I do have things planned in this month as well that may hinder some of that. So that is something that will need my attention. But you know what? At this point, it feels like everything needs my attention. I am still committed to visiting one new place this month. I need a break. I need to get away. So this will be good for me. I'm not doing anything extraordinary for the weight loss. I'm just keeping up with 75 hard. That's difficult enough, and if I lose the weight, I do. If I don't, I don't. So I guess for that, we shall see at the end of the month. The letter to the health insurance is still very important to me. I have already printed out my pay stubs, but I just need to print out some banking statements, and I really hope I can push myself to get it all done this month. Now, the dreaded cleaning tracker. As you can see here, May has been very spotty, although I did get that big project of washing the floors finished, but even that is not perfect. They're not all 100% done. That may be a task that I'll have to break up into smaller parts in the future so that it is less overwhelming and more achievable for me. Sadly, I was not able to do all the weekly tasks, and I still have several monthly tasks left to do over the next 2 weeks. But also over the next 2 weeks, I have some quarterly tasks that need attention. So for this month, as part of washing the floor, I did clean under the furniture, but only in the living room, so I still have the bedroom to do. But there are a few other smaller tasks that need to get done. All right, on to my weeklies. So during the first week of the month, I did some time blocking and tried to keep up with the plan that I made for myself for that particular day. That did not always pan out. So the second week, I tried something different. As I was leaving work, I would make a plan for that afternoon of everything I would ideally like to get done. And then when I would get home, I would write in what I was actually getting done. So this would be my ideal afternoon, and this was the reality. I did do that every day throughout the week. I even have some crumpled up ones that were carried around in my bag. And there were days where my ideal plan actually worked out because of how few tasks I had to do. And there was no need for me to write out what I had actually done. So as you can see, I've really been trying to keep it together. Now, for this coming week, I'm pressing a little bit of a hard restart. And instead of focusing on getting my cleaning tasks done or even having all of my time spoken for, I'm giving myself a little bit more flexibility so I can feel that I'm running the schedule and the schedule isn't running my life. And even if everything that I would hope for to get done in a week doesn't get done, that's okay. That's the season of life that I'm in for this next month until 75 hard gets finished and a few more things come off my plate. So all that to say is that for this week, what I am doing is making a big to-do list of everything that I really want to get done with the most important things listed on there for that particular day. Now, from this list, once I get home and start working on things, I get to choose what I do, and I get to decide what is actually most important and most urgent to be done that day. That means that not everything needs to happen, but even for today, I was already able to get a lot done of what's on this list. Not everything that I've done is checked off at this time, as I'm still working through the list, and hopefully more on that will be in next week's video. While I struggle to keep up with things, I will be mixing things up, making things more interesting, gamifying. I will be pulling out every trick in the hat. But also, I will absolve myself for not getting everything done. Productivity, like anything else in life, ebbs and flows. And although right now I'm not able to check off a bunch of things on my to-do list, or maybe even a few of the important things are slipping through my fingers here and there, I will keep fighting and pushing forward and trying to remember that I am doing a lot right now. And all the things that I'm doing are bringing me closer to my goals as a whole. You know what they say, if you don't bend, you break. As always, thank you so much for watching and for keeping me company on this journey. I'll see you all next week.